Good morning. It is Tuesday, and that means it's time for our team call for the Giving Tree. That looks weird. That's really interesting. Um, okay, and we are taking off with some great ones. Wisdom. The great ones separate truth from fact. This is number 5. If you're in the 2005 book, I looked, there's a new version. While the average performers tend to believe that truth and fact are the same, the world class knows there's a difference. Champions use their critical thinking skills to make a clear distinction between truth and fact. Fact is reality, truth is our perception of reality. And perceptions are subjective. One person perceives giving charity as an expense, and another considers it an investment in someone else's life. I kind of love that from the Giving Tree, don't you? The fact is that many people give charity, whether it's an expense or an investment. That's a perception. Which line of thinking represents truth? Both. In the minds of the individuals, perception equals truth. This subtle distinction allows the great ones to understand themselves and others at a higher level of awareness. The masses tend to operate from truth, which is often distorted, a distorted version of the facts. Champions make decisions based on facts, not feelings. The world class also uses this understanding of truth and fact in their mental programming. The great ones know the conscious mind functions most effectively on fact, while the subconscious mind can be programmed with truth. Since the subconscious is unable to make a distinction between fact and truth, champions program their subconscious mind to believe in their visions, dreams, and ideas as truths. Because the subconscious doesn't have the ability to reject an idea, it accepts it as truth and begins to create behaviors that are congruent with this new truth. The conscious mind knows this truth is not fact, and tension begins to build between the conscious and subconscious, creating cognitive dissonance. As a result, the two go to work to create congruency. The great ones are not only aware of the difference between truth and fact, but they also know how to use them both to get what they want. So I actually super love this one because you have this ability to program. This is why, life story works. This is why thinking about your life, visualizing, it creates that motivation and that belief system that makes you believe that your life is different or can be different than it is if you're unhappy with it. And I think this also applies to the world that we're living in today with all of the doom scrolling and the doomsdaying and all these people telling you it's the end of the world. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, right? World War II was pretty horrible as well. And there are a lot of people in Gaza who really are experiencing end of the world, and in Israel, experiencing the end of the world type things that are happening right now. And I'm not saying that those things aren't true. I'm saying that if we spend our time thinking that the world is about to end and we hunker down, then we don't plant the seeds and the trees that we need to plant in order to continue um, to create the goodness in our lives. And we spend our time in fear rather than um, in creation. And so you think about this like truth and fact. Let's just kind of talk about what that looks like and what your thoughts are on this, because it's not the same thing. Like you can look at things, and I also love oh, what's her name? Katie Byron for this. Is that true? Is that true? Right? All right, I want to hear your thoughts. You guys are all muted, so unmute yourselves and tell me what your thoughts are about this.
I'll share here. I I was thinking about how, like, with perception, um how when um we have different, obviously we have different ways we can look at things, and that was just stated, but that um when, um, okay, let's see, I'm trying to think of how to say this without telling such a, well, so my daughter has to work. She's got a 1-year-old, and she just started this last week, and I notice how she's really upset about having to work. And so and I would be too, like I super get that. But the perception, if she were to have kind of like the attitude, the perception that that um this is a blessing, which she does, she's seeing that as well, that it's a blessing. But when the grief and the frustration overtakes the blessing, the view of the blessing, then the blessing of that doesn't necessarily become a blessing. Like it can become the burden. And her son that she's not getting to be with throughout the day is going to sense that too. And like when we interact with people, if we are completely begrudging about that opportunity of interacting, they sense that. Even if we're trying to cover it up, it's there. They can sense that. So anyway, just that was my thoughts on perception as we were discussing
I
that.
love that. And I think that's such a great example because many of us are in circumstances, in the world are in circumstances that we would rather not be in. And hopefully we can change that perception to see the blessing that we are experiencing in it, and also have the motivation to visualize and see a different future. You cannot have faith and fear at the same time. And so if you are grumping and fearful and resentful of your current situation, then you're going to continue to create more things to be grumpy and fearful and resentful about. But if you instead, the glad game, right? Pollyanna, classic. My kids, I said to one of my kids, I was like, well, it sounds like you need to play the glad game. And he was like, what? And I'm like, Pollyanna. And he was like, what?
Oh
And I'm like,
no.
how did I miss this critical piece of your childhood?
Oh man, I need to show that one to my kids too. My other thought here too is like when we are interacting with people, if we are so filled with fear over, maybe it's that we're worried that we can't help them. They might take that worry as something else, that we don't want to be visiting with them, that we don't want to help them. So I think we have to kind of be careful there and being aware of what
Yeah.
emotion we're portraying.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Okay, so your action step for today is write down 10 things you know are fact and rethink each one of them, asking yourself, is this reality a fact or a truth that I've created from my own or others' perceptions? For example, is it a fact that the sky is blue? Is it a fact that you're a nice person? Is it a fact that the faithful will be rewarded in heaven? You'll see how often we operate from truth rather than fact. And then there's a quote from William James, who was an author in the late 1800s, early 1900s. We have to live today by what truth we can get today and be ready tomorrow to call it falsehood. And we've seen that in history, that things that we believed in the past were true, and then we learned more and realized that those things were actually false. So, okay, awesome. So that's our action step. So I want to run through and just talk about this, the duplication model, the bare minimum for success. And you'll see that I've added a circle. If you've been with us before, then you'll see that I've added the wellness workshop as an optional because I want you to know about it. And you're going to love, I've updated some of the slides to give you like even more information, and they're awesome. So the impact call, this is Mondays at 11:30 a.m. We are no longer offering the 5:30 p.m. because we weren't getting people coming live. People were just taking the recording and using that. So that is awesome and great. And the objective is to show impact of what's happening and what we're doing. It's to create curiosity and make them want to learn more. This call is recorded, so you can use it at any time that you need it. Now we also have the learn more call. Rather than sticking around, well, we actually can stick around after the 11:30. What we found is that people are not bringing guests to the 11:30, so it's just a recording time for us. But if people start showing up on Monday at 11:30, then we will also do a learn more directly following. They don't have to wait till Thursday. But we're doing another learn more on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. And the objective of that is to introduce them to the business, the basic business overview, help them make a decision to get started. This call is also recorded. The reason we're doing it at 7:30, there is a group that wants to either show or do another impact call at 7 o'clock. And so then, and we have another one that I'll tell you about in a second, the wellness workshop. Okay, so now we have the welcome call. This one is by appointment. The whole objective of this welcome call is to introduce your new donor to your upline leader. And I've put a screenshot or a QR code there. And this is if you want to schedule your welcome call with your new person with me, then get on my schedule. That link will take you right into my schedule to be able to set a time to meet with me. You want your new person to help them feel a part of their team. You want to know what their goals are so that you can help to motivate and support them in reaching those goals. And then also connecting them to resources and next steps so that they're ready to get going and they can hit the ground running and start working and get their first check within their first week. All right, next we have the onboarding call. This is the first Saturday of each month from 8 to 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. The prerequisite is please have them finish the 72-hour checklist and Ginger Days 1 and 2. The objective here is to introduce them to our success system and answer the questions. And this call is also recorded so that if you need one in between, which we hope you do, then you'll have access to that. The team call is this one. It's Tuesday morning, 7:30 to 8. We have mental toughness training and Q&A, and we always go through the whole process because I feel like the more this gets repeated, then it sticks in your brain and you're like, oh, I know what to do next. I know how to work this. The wellness workshop, this one is optional. It is Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. The objective here is to learn about product for specific health challenges. This QR code goes directly to Lassen's Zoom room and will take you right into that call on Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock p.m. So snag a screenshot of that, or you can get it on the summary page right here. So here's what you see. The impact call. Monday, I put this in like week order because I thought it would be more helpful if you could see what's happening. And then I have even one more graphic on the next page. But what you've got right here is you can see on Mondays, we have our 11:30 impact call, team calls on Tuesdays. Learn more is on Thursdays. New builder onboarding call is the first Saturday. And all of those go to that big QR code. That's my Zoom room right there, that big QR code. The welcome call with Brenda by appointment, you can book here. That next QR code is my schedule. And then the wellness workshop, which is Thursday at 6 p.m. It's not optional if you want to know about product. It's only optional if you are doing the Giving Tree and the only product you care about is the 72-hour emergency kit. But what you're going to find, even if that's you, is that you're going to run into people who have health issues and they want to talk about products. So I want you to make sure that you know about this wellness workshop, and that is Thursdays at 6 p.m. And so that's that. And then I did it one more time because success is scheduled. And so if you put this into your schedule, then you've got all of this there, and you'll see that on Wednesdays and Fridays, we don't have anything. And we hope that you're talking to all your friends and you're making contacts and building up your business. But that really the only evening times that we're doing anything is on Thursday as a group. So that should leave you plenty of time to continue doing the things that you need to do and snag a screenshot of this. The topic that we'll be covering is winning, right? We want you to win. All right, so now we are to our Q&A, and I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing so we can see your lovely faces and say, do you guys have any questions that I can answer?
Where are the recordings housed?
Oh, thank you. That is happening, and we're working on it still.
Do you have yesterday's recording? I had appointments, so.
Yes, so I totally blew yesterday's call and I shared the presenter screen instead of the audience screen. And it's like, it's a really messy call. But Brian is went out today. So he's in Uganda and he's getting videos today of the like the manufacturing facility and stuff. So we're actually going to record that call again today. So and I'm not sure what time that's happening yet. But we're gonna record it again because it was a great call, except for the part where I just was all over the place looking at like participants and what was happening and like all the stuff while I was doing it. And I don't want you to see all the the only thing you got to see was behind the curtains. Like the videos didn't play, like, the whole thing. They played, but you can hear them. But anyway.
So the question is, where are you going to post it once you re-record the call?
No, I know. And you
So-
know where I'm going to post them, but
No, I'll tell you where you're
help
going to, where
building
are you going
that.
to post this one? Where are you going to post this one call? Are you going to post it to the text
I'll
group?
put it in the I'll put it in the text.
Okay.
So you'll have it. But then we will have Tim
Yeah.
has kind of built me an outline place where we can have like a little hub where all of our stuff is going to be housed.
Central hub for all of our stuff. Yep.
And I think it'll make it just like really good and a lot easier and stuff. So
But yeah, but there's something called Christmas that's in the way, right?
well, I have a
finishing
lot of
it.
sewing to get done.
Exactly.
Tim, you're an awesome behind the scenes man. Thank you.
He's helping me get all that set up. Yeah. Anyone else who wants to help, send your friends. Like anybody who has skills like that. Okay. Any other questions? Let's talk about wins. What have you won out this week? I know, right? Perspectives. We have to like look at the perspectives of everything.
I want a robot.
Yeah, you did.
Just kidding.
And it doesn't build websites without you.
It doesn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just working on a couple of projects. I'm resurrecting my surviving the holidays with essential oils, gifting that to my team.
Nice.
And I've got a little fun thing. I'm trying to decide whether to put it on my personal timeline. It's just called a Christmas scavenger hunt. It's kind of like Battleship, where you guess, a nine or whatever. And so I'll have prizes hidden behind those. But so I'm not sure if that's appropriate for personal timeline. I don't know.
That could be fun. I think that would be fun. It could engage some new potential customers.
Yeah. So that's my project today.
I love it. That sounds super fun.
So Chris, I want to follow up on my text I sent into the group there about nausea during cancer.
Uh-huh.
I'm all about trying natural sources first, but sometimes in the case of cancer, because like I said, I've had a son that's been through brain cancer, you have to go for the gorilla of the drugs, which Zofran is the gorilla of the drug for anti-nausea medication. It's what they give you when you, no, it's not Zofran, sorry, you said the wrong thing. I'll have to figure out the name of it, but yeah, it's the one they give you before surgery. And it works really good if you have to go to that. But obviously you kind of work your way up, right? So, digest in the peppermint tablets. Sometimes clove is good for that. Some of those things that you can try first, but then if it doesn't work out, you gotta get something more powerful.
Yeah. I also found a study on peppermint and nausea from chemo.
Oh, nice.
So that was good. But yeah, that other one that you sent, that's a prescription, correct?
Yes.
So I'll find out if they've given him anything like that.
Yeah, and if they can't take a pill, then you're gonna have to get it injected.
Oh,
Right. Yeah. So I learned all about that. So if you
Huh.
want to talk more about that kind of stuff, feel free to call me.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Well, great. Thank you guys for being here and being part of the team and being part of the team call. It's good to see your faces and we'll see you again soon.